TWSN. You ain't heard about us yet, well you better know now, because it's the place that it all goes down. Get up, let me begin. This is TWSN. You ain't heard about us yet, well you better know now, because it's the place that it all goes down.
Shout out Young Swish.
Happy Friday to everyone and to all. Thank you guys for joining us for another edition of the Sitdown Morning Show with Malik Wright, presented by the Right Way Sports Network. And we are live from the First Star Logistics Studio here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We've had a jam-packed week. I just sat down with Bengals left tackle Orlando Brown Jr. for an exclusive one-on-one to get his thoughts, his insights on the Bengals season. That was an awesome sit down just yesterday. So if you missed it, head on over to the channel and take a look at everything that we discussed. Listen, I'm looking forward to this show. We got Logan back. We got Lucky back. We're going to have Alexi on the show. We're going to have Sav on the show. Listen, we've avoided this topic on the show by design because friendships have gotten ruined over this topic. Me and Saphir, we didn't speak for 3 months after, we last debated this topic. The last time we debated this topic, just so you guys know how much we've avoided it, was before I moved to Cincinnati. I'm going on year 5 here in Cincinnati.
It's crazy.
So we avoid this topic, and you know what the topic is. It's the GOAT debate, right? We're going to be discussing that. We're going to be discussing if the New York Football Giants actually are a playoff team with Harbaugh at the helm, which I think they could be. We're going to be discussing UFC 329, Conor McGregor's return, and, can he break through? But before we jump into all that, do us a favor, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you guys never miss when we go live or upload content, and tell a friend. We are live now. Boys, I think I want to start off with the Giants really quickly, really fast. This is a Giants team that I think has all the makings, if you're not looking at their wide receiver core, in my opinion, to be a playoff team. I like their defense. I like the fact that they have a real coach at the helm now. I like enough of what I've seen from Jackson Dart. I do wonder how Cam Skattebo is going to come back from the injury. But all that being said, right, if injuries are not a question, right, because Malik Neighbors, we want to know what he's going to look like.
Yeah.
I do wonder what the ghost of Odell Beckham is going to look like with the Giants. I never thought we would see Odell Beckham back in a Giants uniform, but here we are. I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. And without further ado, I'm going to let Lucky start the show off. Lucky, I want to get your thoughts on the Giants and them potentially being a playoff team with Harbaugh.
No. I don't see the Giants being a playoff team under John Harbaugh. I don't trust Malik Neighbor.
Not too much on Malik's
coming back. I think the process has been very difficult for him, and there's been different timetables thrown out about his comeback. I also don't know if Cam Skattebo is a 3-down back in the NFL. I think he's good to play off of someone, especially in like short yardage packages. But I don't think Cam Skattebo can carry the load of can carry the load of 3 downs as a backer. He doesn't have the same build as like a Derrick Henry. He's a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact, and college football is different than the pros, right? So all of those hits that Cam Skattebo will take, I don't know if his career will go the way that his college career went. And also, I do have questions about Jackson Dart. So when we're talking about the full picture of the Giants, I do love the Harbaugh ad. I do love what they have on defense, but I don't trust the offense enough at this time, got to see it, to go ahead and label them a playoff team.
Well, I got to call you out really quickly. I can't let you off the hook that easy. What do you mean questions about Jackson Dart? What questions do you have about Jackson Dart?
Jackson, to me, he wasn't my favorite rookie quarterback taken last year. I have question. I didn't like really any of them.
Okay.
All right. I think Jackson has all of the tools to be successful. My question with Jackson is, can he eliminate the dumb turnovers? He did it a lot at Ole Miss. He can create off script. He has a great arm. He has all the talent necessary to succeed at the next level. But can he go ahead and take that next step and be a pro's pro and eliminate just the dumb turnovers, the things where you're trying to air it out 75 yards and you overshoot the guy by 20 yards, right? Can he make the smart plays at the smart times, because NFL defenses are going to hold him accountable for that? That's my question with Jackson Dart. Can he do that consistently in the NFL? And I think Harbaugh is a great step in that direction.
It's weird. This Giants team in general, to be honest, when we were kind of, I was kind of getting ready for the show and we were looking at some of these questions, my first reaction was like, no, I don't really believe in the Giants too much. But I really just kind of started digging into them a little bit. And I like a lot of things here, but it's undeniable. They do have a lot of questions that are going to need to be answered. I mean, Jackson Dart, like it was just talking about, has a ton of flashes, battled a ton of injuries, made some really stupid decisions, but he is a fun player. I mean, that he showed enough as a rookie to really give you hope as a Giants fan. Again, he has to be a little bit smarter back there and play a little bit more conservative at times and not take some of these big hits and everything. But then he showed some promise, and that's what you want. But then again, Cam Skadoo, talk about Cam Skadoo all you want. The injury is first and foremost, that was really, really ugly. I was never a big proponent of Cam Skadoo coming into the league, but I do like how he profiles in this, John Harbaugh style offense. And they do have some complementary backs, to kind of make up for some of his weaknesses with Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary. Malik Neighbors is the big one. That's where everything is going to lie for this team, the short and the long term, outside of Jackson Dart, of course. I mean, Malik Neighbors took the league by storm and was one of the best receivers in the league from the moment he stepped onto the field. The production that he's shown has been unreal, but the injury is scary. The updates you get are scary. Who knows what that timetable looks like? And whenever you have a player of that talent miss time and struggle to get back to themselves, who knows how that's going to affect the offense, because they need him to be that Malik Neighbors that he was pre-injury. And if he's not, this already weak receiving core looks even worse. I like some of the pieces they do have. I think Darnell Mooney's a solid player. I think Calvin Austin's a fine player. And then when you add in Isaiah Likely and Theo Johnson, they have a good unit of offensive weapons for how they are going to want to play. But the thing that really kind of holds me back is kind of the opposite of what, like you're saying. I don't trust John Harbaugh much. I don't know what it is about him. I would have loved the Giants to kind of go more of a new modern approach to coaching and everything and not revert to those old school ways. I feel like they have such an explosive offense with some high powered athletes, and that doesn't really kind of fit what John Harbaugh is good at. He's good at, the old school. Let's milk the clock. Let's run the ball. Let's do these basic things. And that doesn't really feel like what the Giants roster should have been constructed as. I think they can succeed in that route, but I don't really love the fit and the personnel schemes with all those things. And another big loss for me, I mean, it's great for me, but it's just trading Dexter Lawrence. I think you're trading one of the best defensive players in football at a very important position. And I think if Dexter Lawrence is on this football team right now, you're looking at it and it's awesome. This defense would be awesome, top to bottom, to where you can look at it and you can see the fact that maybe their defense can carry them from time to time. Now you lose some of that interior pressure. You still have some exciting edges. The secondary has some interesting pieces. There's a lot of questions with the Giants. If all goes right and Dart clicks and Neighbors is healthy, this team could be really good. But for right now, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered before I feel like super confident in calling them a playoff team.
What do you like about this Giants team? Just out of curiosity.
I think in general, the defensive line, out the edges, I should say. The defensive line isn't great, obviously, minus Dexter Lawrence. But, I mean, Arvell Reese, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, these are good players. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Having that number of pass rushers to just go get after the quarterback is going to be awesome no matter how you shake it. You would have liked to maybe see some better secondary players. I like Javon Holland a lot. Greg Newsome has been up and down, but we know how much the pass rush impacts that area of the game as well. So I think that pass rush is could be one of the best units in the league, which is why they probably felt like they could move off of a guy like Dexter Lawrence. But again, it's that pass rush is really nice.
Out.
Yeah, they really are.
Out. Listen, I like what Harbaugh brings overall to the Giants. 193 career wins, obviously a Super Bowl culture builder. We know all that, and his reputation in Baltimore precedes him, right? Like we think about Baltimore's reputation. They were a team to be feared at points.
Yeah.
It was under Harbaugh. It was him that built this. Now, I'm not going to be as boastful to say that I think that Jackson Dart is their quarterback of the future. I don't know that. I think there has to be a lot of questions answered this year. I want to see the type of growth he shows as a passer. We already know he's an athlete. We already know he can run. We already know that he's dynamic when he uses his legs. Trust me. He won me a couple things, last year. But you want to see if he can put it all together. I think the same criticism we give other quarterbacks, you could probably give Jackson Dart. Yeah. So the question now becomes, can Jackson Dart take the next step in year two? I do think it's interesting that Harbaugh has that direct relationship with ownership, right? He reports to the ownership, not necessarily to the general manager. I know there was a lot of questions. Is that type of structure going to complicate things for the Giants and what it is that they're trying to achieve? I guess my one question I have for you guys, realistically, right? Do we think year one for Harbaugh is a playoff push? Or do we think it's more of a foundational setting year? Lucky.
Foundation.
Okay.
I really think foundation. I think he's got to get in there with Jackson. And I think just to go off of what you said, Logan, I'm interested to see how Harbaugh and Dart's dynamic work. I don't know if Harbaugh's style of offense necessarily fits Dart. And I don't know. Obviously, he's made a career out of, building insane defenses and building insane teams in Baltimore. But to your point, that's run-heavy offenses. Yeah. I don't know if Jackson Dart will be that kind of quarterback, but it will be interesting to see how they build on that this season.
Yeah, just, briefly taking a look at their schedule, it's tough. Their division is tough. Washington is going to be better. They had a huge offseason. Jaden Daniels is, you'd assume, going to come back healthy and do a lot of things well for them. So, and they obviously have the Cowboys and they obviously have the Eagles. That's when your division is that tough, it's very difficult to just make a push in general if you're not going to dominate within your division. And then outside of their division, I mean, they play the Rams, they play the Texans, they play the 49ers, they play Detroit. Like, this is a tough schedule for the Giants this year. There's a couple, I think they'll flirt with like 8-ish wins depending on what goes their way, but they can very easily fall below that. And if things really click, maybe they push to like 9 to 10 wins, but I don't see a huge upside for them. It's a very important building block year for Harbaugh and Dart. I don't know what that ceiling is in year one. And that's okay in general. They don't need to be a playoff team right away. It's a young team with some young talent, but again, it's a very important year one.
I agree with you. We'll see exactly what the Giants do. If you guys have opinions on that, we'd love to hear them. I personally love to hear it. I want to know what everyone thinks that the Giants' ceiling is this year. I'm curious to see how it's going to break through for them. I want to keep the conversation rolling. While we got you guys here, if you guys could do us a favor, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications. Remember, the Sit Down Morning Show is live every Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're also live on Wednesdays, usually at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, where we're breaking down the latest and greatest news for Bengals conversation on State of the Jungle. So this channel has everything. We have so much more content planned. Got some big news coming up here soon. Going to keep that very close to the vest, but some stuff we're working on behind the scenes that I think Bengals fans are going to love. I want to keep the conversation rolling. So Kawhi Leonard was just basically told that you're not going to be a Raptor just yet. Hold on. And we're waiting to see what happens because the NBA is currently investigating the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard for the dealings of Kawhi Leonard becoming a Clipper, essentially, and remaining a Clipper. And I am so fascinated to see sort of what happens with that. Listen, I could talk your ear off all day about it. I'm going to bring Lexi in here. I want to get Lexi's opinion on this whole Kawhi Leonard situation, get his thoughts on the whole Kawhi Leonard situation. I know he's excited for the GOAT debate that's going to be taking place here very, very shortly. Lexi, give me your thoughts. What are your initial thoughts on Kawhi Leonard's trade being canceled or paused?
So obviously, I had to make a video about this immediately. It's a big deal, and it's a big deal for a few parties. So first, you look at Kawhi himself. There's people theorizing that Kawhi essentially really wanted to get traded to the Raptors to get out of this and to not have to deal with the investigation. And if that's the theory, it's now broken in terms of him trying to go out and do that. He's going to get investigated no matter what. But where I think this really hurts is going to be the Clippers. The last time that we saw a case with money laundering and illicit contracts was with Joe Smith back in the Minnesota Timberwolves. For those who don't know, Joe Smith he denied an $80 million extension with the Golden State Warriors, signed on a 1-year minimum with the Timberwolves, and immediately everyone was like, there's no chance this was real. Turns out it was an illicit contract with under-the-table money. The Minnesota Timberwolves were fined $4 million and lost 4 first-round picks and were never able to fully build around Kevin Garnett, which eventually led to him getting traded to the Celtics, et cetera, et cetera. A move like this for the Clippers, obviously they're going to be in a rebuilding phase, but for them to potentially get punished to the level that the Timberwolves got for Joe Smith could be franchise altering. And even if you look at that Joe Smith case, but owner Glenn Taylor had to take multiple years of absence. Kevin McHale, GM, had to take a year of absence. There is going to be significant punishment if the league is not letting this trade through. And so I think as a Clippers fan, you should be incredibly worried because this team is going into a rebuild. You need all the picks that you can get. And I don't know if they're going to have a lot of them after this. And they're already giving away trades for the next few years. The Thunder have control, have swap rights next year. The Sixers have control. The Celtics have control coming up. It's a bad time to be a Clippers fan. Not that there's ever been a good time, but it is a bad time. And for the Raptors, I'd be mad too. Like, I really think this is a lose situation. The Clippers are going to get hosed in an investigation more than likely. Kawhi doesn't get out of this investigation. And the Raptors essentially are waiting until this investigation is done because they don't know if they're actually going to get Kawhi. Kawhi's already been in the Raptors facilities. He was there when Kyle Lowry got his retirement press conference. He is already involved with this organization once again, and now the Raptors just have to wait. That could stop potential free agency signings, potential trades. There's still been rumors that Jakob Poeltl is not going to stay with the team, and now basically everything is paused until this investigation is over. And who knows, it might be today, it might take weeks. And I think this is just a lose for everyone. And if the NBA was going to do this, they should have just said, hey, guys, we're not going to let you trade Kawhi until this investigation is over. And I think it's bad on all sides. And it's going to be intriguing how this goes because, of course, there's a situation where maybe they just investigate, the trade goes through, and they blame Uncle Dennis. So, yeah, it's an intriguing situation.
I think the thing that the last point you brought up about, like, if they really were truly investigating to the degree that they should, like, they probably should have just been like, hey, nobody trade for Kawhi Leonard right now. Let's get this situated. So the fact that they kind of let that all happen and then they were like, oh shit, like maybe we shouldn't let this happen yet, I think kind of really raises some red flags. I think personally, because like when this whole first came out, like I think it was like, damn, is that real? Like, did they really do this? And they kind of like, it didn't get the like the news or like the emphasis that it felt like it really could have warranted. And then I don't know if, you know, like some of the theories, like you said, like about people really thinking Kawhi just want to get out of the country, you know, and let's go to Canada and get all these things. Like you laugh at that, but then like when you sit here and look at the like the legality of this and everything, it's like, well, maybe it's not like that far fetched. Like this is a huge deal. I mean, this is like $30 million money transaction, like just giving him under the table. Like it is a big deal. And it's honestly crazy. Like for both teams to kind of just be, like I said, it's a true lose-lose, and anything that's a lose-lose in life sucks. Like there's no doubt about it. The Clippers kind of are gonna. I mean, they are at fault here. They did the deed, and whatever happens to them deserves to happen to them. But again, for the Raptors, like you just made a move that you thought could push you into title contention, to put you into these things that everybody wants. You get so excited. Your fan base, you cultivate around this move. Like you said, he's there when Kyle Lowry, your franchise legend, is getting his everything retired. Like, and then it's like, Kawhi, like, now it just kind of ruins everything. And to have a moment like this really, kind of tamper an off season sucks. Like, for the Raptors to be able to just sit here and just be like, what the hell are we doing? Is Brandon Ingram on our team now again? Like, am I gonna have to play Grady Dick now? Like, what do I say to these guys if they're back in the building? Like, do we have to trade this person to make this money? Like, and just having to sit here and wait makes the situation worse for everybody. Honestly, I can't wait to see how it unfolds, because it could just absolutely be nothing, which would be kind of funny. But at the end of the day, it could be absolutely devastating for everybody involved. And I can't remember the last time we've had such a wide range of outcomes for something that could implicate so much. I can't wait to see how it unfolds.
What do we think the percentage is that Kawhi still gets traded to the Raptors? That's my big question.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, I would say it's like 70, 80%. I mean, I think it would have to take something so catastrophic, because even the report that came out from Shams, the letters that both teams sent out, the Raptors said that they're basically taking on any liability if there were to be a punishment towards Kawhi. So I think it's going to go through. I think if anything, what could change, for example, we look at, trades that have happened in the past where they add, draft picks or take away draft picks based on injury status. There could be something similar to that, but I don't think it gets canceled.
No.
Listen, in the words of the great philosopher Gucci Man, hear me out.
He says a lot of good things.
I got so many felonies that I might never go to Canada. But Drake said he gonna pull some strings, so let me check my calendar. That is from the song Both. And that's probably what's gonna happen in this Kawhi Leonard situation. Not really Drake's gonna pull some strings, but the Raptors are gonna pull some strings. It's gonna go through. The entire time, look, I won't let you get to your point, but the entire time as we're discussing this, there was two things that came to me. Had nothing to do with the actual topic. One of the things were, that's probably the highest I've ever heard Logan's voice get when he was explaining his thing. And Lexi, I don't know if anybody's ever told you, dog, you look like Daniel Radcliffe.
I've been told that a few times. I have to remind people that, like, I'm not talking about, when I say Daniel Radcliffe, I'm not talking about like the old Harry Potter. I'm talking about like now, like with facial hair. Okay. So
man, you look. For a second, I was like, damn, we got Harry Potter on the show. We had Skip Bayless. Now we got Harry Potter on the show, man. But
got all the characters.
Oh man, I got all the side characters. Lucky, continue with your Kawhi Leonard point, man. Though
next is Gandalf. So for Kawhi, I really feel
God.
So for Kawhi, I really feel horrible for the Raptors right now. Obviously, this waiting game is something that no organization wants to go through. Anytime you do a deal like this, the hope is that everything goes through. You get the guy in the building. Clearly, Kawhi's been in the building. So, the hope is that you get this across the finish line ASAP, you get them in the building, and you get them acclimated, right? The Clippers, on the other hand, Alexi, what you were saying about, I believe his name's John Smith from the Timberwolves?
It was Joe Smith.
Joe Smith, perfect.
Yep.
Man, that could be insanely catastrophic for the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I'm really looking at too, is not only the punishment for Kawhi, but the punishment for the Clippers themselves. And what does that mean for the outlook? Because as you said, they already have picks given away. They already have different things tied up. So what does this mean for the LA Clippers? I don't know if the Clippers are going to be relevant for like the next 5 to 10 years, depending on how severe this thing goes, or longer. And that's concerning. As a basketball fan, I don't like the Clippers. Obviously, I'm a Warriors guy. But that's concerning that like a team can't go through and make a run at things. Kind of like USC faced penalties years and years ago, and Penn State faced penalties years and years ago. Like, those programs are forever changed because of that. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see how the Clippers move forward after everything is all said and done. I don't know if they will.
Lex, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree. I think it's something where the Clippers, while they have, eras of moderate success that they can, hold on to, Lob City, finally making the conference finals. The thing is, like, this is a team that you have to work not only to be relevant as a franchise, but to be relevant in your own city.
Yeah.
Like, this is a team that is little brother and relevant in their state. I mean, the Lakers and the Warriors are far more relevant than the Clippers. And this is a team, they just got a new stadium. They have, big plans, and this could derail everything. Like that, it really is like this is a few weeks for the franchise where if they can get away with something small, they might be okay for the future. But if they don't, I mean, if a big punishment comes down, which it looks like it will, like this, this could be drastic. Like this could be, we're going to move the franchise level. And like, they just built a new stadium. Yeah. Like they can't afford for the team to be this bad with a stadium that new and that expensive.
Well, they could be. they could be. They very well could be. As long as you have a player on there that can put butts in seats, and right now I'm assuming that player you're hoping is Brandon Ingram, maybe Darius Garland,
5th overall pick.
Hey, maybe this the whole unit is what's going to sell tickets.
It's the experience.
That's what you're hoping for, right? We'll see what happens.
It's affordable entertainment in Los Angeles. That's about the only.
Let's look at a good route for them.
Yeah, affordable.
Discount nights. I love it.
I like that. I like that.
All tickets $5 a piece. Come in, please watch this team. Please watch.
Still wouldn't be a sellout.
You guys said something that was interesting, and maybe I just see it differently. I don't view the Raptors as like I don't view the Raptors like a Kawhi Leonard piece away from competing. That's just me.
They're close. They're closer than you think.
No.
Like, I agree.
I've always said the Raptors are great at building a roster, but we're also talking about Kawhi Leonard, who can't play back-to-backs. He's not. I mean, we were literally raving about the fact that this season was probably his most healthiest, like most available he's been. Like, how old is he? What, 34, 36? Something like that?
Yeah, he's old.
Like, what are we?
He's up there.
What are we actually talking about here? What are our realistic expectations with Kawhi Leonard even in the fold? I think they're going to be very competitive like they always are. But this doesn't feel like the Kawhi Leonard that joined the Raptors years ago. This feels slightly different, guys. And I feel like we're still talking about it as if he's going to be that missing piece that takes them over the top. And I'm just not there personally.
That is true. This isn't like prime Kawhi.
Yeah.
This is a 34, 36-year-old in that range Kawhi, who definitely doesn't have the same bounce or juice that he once did. But obviously the experience and the kind of player that you're getting does play a positive. It is a net positive for the Raptors to go ahead and get Kawhi. But I do see exactly where you're coming from, Malik, where I don't know how much this moves the needle. I don't think the Raptors are far off, though. I agree with you, Alexi, 100%. I don't think the Raptors are too far off.
Yeah.
I think really what it comes down to is, so when they had that run in 2019, another big trade that they made was Marc Gasol. We're still waiting for that Marc Gasol move. I feel like it's a team that I really think is probably one or two moves away. Like Jakob Poeltl isn't bad, but with his contract and with some, other prospects that they have, picks, they could upgrade significantly at center. I feel like if they can solidify that, maybe one other guard. I do love Jamal Shed on that team. Emmanuel Quickley has been up and down. Like, I think they're about one or two moves away. I do agree, as they are right now, I think their ceiling would probably be second round. I mean, the East is going to be competitive, but I think they're one or two moves away from serious contention. They're like a Marc Gasol away. Which obviously Marc Gasol was great. Yeah. So
I think the thing with the Raptors that I don't want to say people definitely notice it, but this team might be the best 5 defensive unit in the league.
Yes.
Like they can guard, they can switch, they can do whatever they want. And that's That's valuable. They're not your typical good team you look at and you're like, okay, this guy's going to give you 25, 5, 5, 9. This guy's going to do this. But no, they have several people they could throw at Giannis. They have several people they can throw at guards. They have several people they can throw at centers. They can guard anybody. Obviously, there's a lot of teams with a lot of firepower out there, especially in the East now all of a sudden. But at the end of the day, they have a lot of people that can play really good defense. And if Kawhi can be that 27 point per game scorer he was again last year, then maybe they can get it. They do feel like they're a move away. You'd like to maybe get a little more of a consistent guard, maybe a different big in there. But at the end of the day, this team can defend, and defense still wins championships at times too.
Daniel put in the comment section, if he's healthy, he still believes he's top 10. There's a lot of players we can say that about, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis is one of them. Probably, if he's healthy, he's probably one of the best, if not the best two-way big man in the league. Right? We can say those things, but unfortunately, this isn't 2K. We can't just turn off injuries. These are things that are realistic that happen, and we got to get over the hump. And so, therefore, age does become a factor. I could say the same thing about Paul George. I could say, well, Paul George's trade, to the Boston Celtics doesn't seem all that bad if Paul George is healthy. But is Paul George going to be healthy? That's going to be one of the questions, right? You could make that statement about a lot of players. I think that the NBA probably would be like, hey, we have no problem paying LeBron James $50+ million a year if his foot injury isn't going to just come up randomly for a month or two. Sure. There's a lot of players we could say that about.
Derrick Rose. What would Derrick Rose be without injuries?
People always talk about that. I'm just going to say this to all the people that say that. Shut up. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I don't want to hear more about Derrick. Not you, but Derrick Rose, I'm good. I don't want to hear no more about it. I'm tired of it. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. He had a good season. He was a guy that had potential. Let's leave it at that. He didn't live up to the potential. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. Some guys do, some guys don't. He had a great season. But all this, Derrick Rose would have been top. No.
The youngest MVP ever.
Sure.
That's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. That is great. Sure.
The Rose that came through the concrete.
But a lot like me, I'm ready to move on. Let's move on. He didn't live up to potential. Could have been for the health injuries, for all that kind of stuff like that. It didn't happen for whatever reason. Andrew Luck could have been the greatest quarterback potentially of all time. He retired because of injuries. It didn't happen, right? So I'd rather deal with the here and now players that are still trying to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I look at it, I just don't see Kawhi Leonard as that needle mover anymore in the year 2026, the big year 2026. So I'll leave it at that. But good point by you, Lucky, at the same time. Good point. Listen, we've been avoiding this topic, right, for a good reason on the show, because I feel like it's probably the most discussed topic in sports. It's the GOAT debate. It's who is the greatest NBA player of all time. Some people say LeBron. Some people say Jordan. Some people say Larry Bird. Some people say a lot of things, right? Nobody really says Larry Bird. But some people say a lot.
Old white people.
What'd you say?
Old white guys. That's about it.
But people have strong opinions on it, stances on it. Families have been torn apart from this debate. Friendships have been ruined because of this debate. So we got to bring our guy in, man. All right? We only got him for a little bit on the show today, but I wanted to make sure we got him for the discussion. The discussion that has pretty much eluded us since we booted back up the Sit Down Morning Show. We're going to bring Saphir in here for this discussion. I just want to let everybody know the last time Saphir and me had this debate, lucky it's not going to just be me and Saphir this time. I mean, all of us discussing it, giving our thoughts, giving our debates. And maybe your GOAT is Kobe Bean Bryant. I have no idea. I don't know why you would have him as your GOAT, but maybe your GOAT is Kobe Bryant. Maybe your GOAT is somewhere else, is someone else. We're going to be discussing that. We're going to be talking it through. I want you guys, if you are watching us live on X or watching us live on YouTube, to drop in the comment section who your GOAT is. You don't have to be all involved in the conversation. I just want to get a general consensus of who everyone's GOAT is. Alexi's got the I Love LeBron shirt on.
Come on now.
If you're not familiar with Lexi,
you know where it's at.
Lexi is a great one-on-one debater. Great one-on-one debater. We've seen him featured on some clips, house highlights, and so on and so forth. And he's done a great job being asked questions, going up against 7 LeBron haters and all that kind of stuff. And he's done a great job. So I'm really, really pumped up to get this discussion going. I've been talking a lot.
Let's do it.
We're going to let Saphir start us off give his thoughts on who his GOAT is and how he ranks his 1 through 3 too. I'm really curious to see that as well. And I want you to make the case for Kobe. I want to hear your Kobe stance on this. So without further ado, Sad, the floor is yours.
I'm so glad I guess I get to open this up. First and foremost, MJ is the greatest player of all time. He is the greatest player to ever touch a basketball. It doesn't even come remotely close to anybody that y'all thinking. Kobe is top 3, and he is not 3. And we can also very, very much dive into that. But I will just start by saying that as well. So however you would like to.
So Kobe is top 3, and he's not 3.
That is correct.
And LeBron, okay. Lexi, floor is yours.
Look, I am someone where I love LeBron. LeBron is what got me into basketball. I think he is the best player of all time. Obviously, I think best and greatest are 2 different words. I do that all the time. But if you have MJ, LeBron, number 1, I respect you. And like that should be your 1 and 2. Kobe at number 2 in the year of our Lord, 2026. Kobe is a legend. I'm not going to be here to discredit Kobe as an all-time player. But when you look at number 2 on this list, you're telling me above LeBron, above Duncan, above even Russell. Like, these are guys that I'm not saying they're automatically above them, but for you to just completely put Kobe at 2, Kobe's great. He's great scorer, great defender, all of that. But if we're looking at even peaks and longevity, both Kobe doesn't have the best peak, and he also doesn't have the best longevity compared to a lot of the other guys that you could put at number 2. Kobe had a great peak, but his career was his peak was a lot shorter than a lot of guys. And we could get into these Kobe Shaq championships. We can't just pretend that it was all Kobe all the time. Kobe obviously had some great runs where Pau Gasol was his best player. And Kobe fans hate when Pau Gasol gets brought up because they pretend like Pau Gasol's a bum when Pau Gasol is a great player.
Oh my gosh. No, that's not the case at all. Laker fans love Pau Gasol. What happens is you guys overrate Pau Gasol when it comes down to this GOAT debate because Pau Gasol never even averaged 20 in a Laker uniform, especially with Kobe. So the fact that he was able to take his second best player, not even averaging 20 points per game, to the finals 3 straight years in a row, mind you, 3 years in a row, and won 2 out of 3, I think that speaks a lot more volumes than it does because if you take Kobe Bryant off of that team doesn't even get to the playoffs. So the fact that he took that team to the finals and won the finals twice, back-to-back, 2009 and 2010, yeah, he's a whole different level. Isn't the game about winning? Like, or
yeah, we're talking about best. Are we talking about best player ever? Or are we talking about best career ever?
Best player ever.
Yeah, and so winning obviously makes a big difference. And those, I'm not denying those Pau runs, but that's 2 years. That's 2-3 seasons. And yes, Pau didn't average 20. It's a different
championships as LeBron.
Yeah, it's that, and those are great runs. LeBron had incredible runs. Sure, they didn't end in championships, but I hate when people only talk about rings as if that's it. Because I don't think Bill Russell's the GOAT. He's got the most rings. Robert Horry is 7.
Bill Russell also averaged like 14 points, bro. We're not doing that.
It was a different league, though. It was a different league. Pau
was
Gasol
averaging 50, so it's not that way. Like,
yeah, Wilt didn't win anything.
Right. But we're talking about Bill Russell was not the main factor in his team winning 11 championships. That team was presently constructed was one of the best teams, all of the best teams ever. That's, if you notice, the Celtics won most of their championships in that era.
And I agree. And I trust me, I don't want to be defending Bill Russell, but like he is an all-time defender. You can't pretend that he's not. You're telling me Bill Russell was not the main part for a majority of those championships?
Unfortunately for him, his era didn't have blocks or steals to be recorded back then. So I have no idea, honestly, what he was doing. There's not any real footage of Bill Russell either, outside of guys telling me that he could play defense. So yes, sure, I will give you that. He can play defense, and Bill Russell is probably one of the better defenders of all time. I don't take that away from him, but there's actually nothing to show for it.
I mean, that's not his fault, but I would also say that if you look at defensive ratings at that time, the Celtics had the best defense for the majority of those championships, and their offense wasn't even that crazy. Their offense was not, I want to say their offense was last in some of those years that they won championships, but Bill Russell was so good defensively that they won those championships. And look, if we do the whole era tax thing, let's say, I don't know, 11 championships in the 60s is worth, 5 in the 90s, 4 in the 90s. It's still like Bill Russell is they had other Hall of Famers. Bill Russell ran the defense and was still decent enough offensively to get it done. Like he is if someone says Bill Russell's the greatest defender ever, you don't bat an eye at it. I don't personally think he is, but he's up there. He's top 3.
I think the whole Bill Russell thing here it's one of the more interesting tidbits that need to be factored in this conversation, because it really, like Saf said, he's got 11 rings, dude. You can't really argue with that. And I think that's kind of a lot of the arguments a lot of people try to use to separate players, especially in this debate when Jordan does have more rings, has a little bit more success in that regard. And then you bring up a guy like Bill Russell, and then you go on and down a completely different debate. It's a tough kind of thorn in the side of the argument a little bit, because there is a valid excuse to, not even excuse, a valid segue of, well, he's got more rings, and that's why I hate it's tough. The ring culture debate is so, I don't know. It's a tough thing to value, but it is a good point in the aspect of, well, MJ's got more rings. This person got more rings. 11 rings is tough to argue with, no matter how you want to look at it. So I feel like, I don't know how much that devalues it to some people, but I think it's a worth argument to be thrown in.
You can't throwing Bill Russell in doesn't help the argument at all, for the sake of that. The man doesn't have, he shot 40% as a 7-footer. What are we talking about? Yes, you got 11 rings, but you also weren't he wasn't this all-world player. We're not going to do that. We don't bring up Robert Horry having 7 rings. Why? Because he's not the greatest player on his team. He's not the greatest player of his generation. So of his era, Robert Horry especially. I'm a Robert.
Well, let's be clear. We also we nickel and dime when we want to bring up the ring argument.
No,
yes.
We don't.
And
because you
yes,
have
we
to.
Do. You in particular.
No, you do not.
Yeah, we
have
do.
to. You put the stats into part. You got to take every stat in totality. That's what I'd be trying to say. But no, it's just because the only thing that you guys will hear is that I'm saying Kobe has 5 and LeBron doesn't. But that's not what I'm saying. You have to take all stats in totality. That's
so make your case. Make your case as to why Kobe 40%. Bryant is your GOAT over LeBron.
That's what I'm trying to get to, but it's a slow burn. We got to break it down section by section. We just sat here and talked about how we just brought up Bill Russell for no reason. I didn't bring up Bill, but I
didn't bring up no damn Bill Russell. He ain't even in the. I don't even know why we're talking about him.
Bill Russell. That's my point. I had to bring up the point.
So bring up your Kobe point.
Again, like I said, Kobe is top 3, and he is not 3. He is better than LeBron because he is a winner. At the end of the day, with the statistics to go behind it, he is statistically better in the playoffs, unless you want to talk about the little rebounds and assists and stuff like that for LeBron, sure. But at the end of the day, if we're talking about I need my superstar to win a championship, we're absolutely going to take MJ. We're absolutely going to take Kobe before we.
Picking LeGoat every time.
Look, my thing is, so let's talk about winning for a second. And yes, Kobe's got 5 rings. What about the Kobe and Shaq years? He was not the best player on those teams.
We bring up the Kobe and Shaq years. All right, that's great, but we're not going to act like he was a afterthought. We're not going to act like he was Chris.
Oh, he was still great.
But either was Bill Russell.
You said he was what, Logan?
I said either was Bill Russell. He wasn't an afterthought. If you want to poke sides into that argument, and he's got 11 rings.
Bill Russell shot 40% as a 7-footer.
I don't really want to argue.
That was the era, though.
That was a good thing to throw in.
I know we not, bro. You can't tell me that it's the era thing when Wilt Chamberlain was in the same era, scoring 50 points a game and shooting 50% plus. We're not doing that. Bill Russell was one of the only 7-footers in the league and couldn't even get the ball in the basket consistently over 50%. Like, what are we doing?
And
what are we doing? That's not how we would give.
So you take away scoring. He's still an insane rebounder at the time, insane defender, quality pass. No one talks about. He's actually a decent passer. Like, yes, his scoring and efficiency wasn't perfect, but he was this all-world defender.
So
I hear you, Alexi. Rudy Gobert is also an all-world defender, and he still shoots 60% from the field, dog.
It's a completely different people. Rudy Gobert.
Rudy doesn't shoot threes, bro. Come on, Rudy and Rudy basically would have the most similar game to a 1960s player that there is in today's game.
But if in general, if Rudy had 11 rings, we'd probably view Rudy Gobert differently too. But that's
Rudy has also efficient players of the year, and we still hate on him. What are we talking about?
Efficiency back in the 60s for is completely different from efficiency now. It completely is. Like,
winning is winning at the end of the day. Like, the efficiency is we could have the efficiency conversation all day because it's really not going to matter. I can pull you up 10 finals MVPs that got about the same shooting percentage, and none of them are over 45%.
Of course,
these are the greatest players of all time. So, like, that the efficiency doesn't that definitely doesn't matter in the eras. If you're getting the ball, like, if you can hit shots, you can hit shots, bro. But I'm not gonna consider Bill Russell. Bill Russell's a top 10 player, sure, maybe top 12. I don't feel like really listing off the other 9 or whatever, but Bill Russell is not, like, he doesn't belong in this conversation. So I'm not going to keep addressing that. However, if we want to go to, what do you want to look at? The streaks? LeBron went to 10 straight finals.
I mean, you brought it up. I was just going to mention, how LeBron is 16-6 against Kobe in the regular season, but we could do that. We could do that first.
Are we really bringing up team comparisons? Because
you're going to tell me LeBron was facing Kobe with worse teams for the majority of when they played in the league at the same time?
LeBron played on the Heat.
Yeah, he also played on the Cavs with Eric Snow as their starting point guard.
And who was the Lakers starting point guard when Eric Snow was there? Jordan Farmer?
You tell me.
D-Fish?
Derek Fisher is not as bad as everyone says. Kobe, that's
Derek
another
Fisher,
player. People love saying that Derek Fisher sucks. He was not that bad.
I never said Derek Fisher sucks, but you want to talk about rosters. Like, Derek Fisher wasn't just as old as Eric Snow. Like, that's a wash. Like,
what I will say really quick, because I want to make sure we reel this in and we talk about we're making our stances point. When we talk about Kobe Bryant versus LeBron, you guys brought up, the LeBron 16-6 record against, obviously, Kobe Bryant. LeBron went up against Kobe. I don't know how many times in particular they went up against each other. I think it was 22 times or something.
Close to that. 16-6. Yeah.
22 times. And some of the numbers LeBron posted because I'm only bringing this up, Sav, because you talked about the team aspect of it, the teams he was going against. He had some pretty damn good performances: 41 points, 39 points, 38 points. I don't want to go into game by game, but he's averaged 28 points and 28.5 points against Kobe Bryant. So even with that argument being made, it's not like LeBron James's teams were just beating Kobe Bryant. LeBron James was doing his part as well. And
that's like when y'all say,
what I reel this in and talk about, guys, though, is the GOAT debate. Saf, I'm going to give the floor to be yours. Or no, Lexi, I'm sorry. I'm going to let Lexi start. Saf, you've stated why you have Kobe Bryant over LeBron James in your GOAT debate, right? Because you said Kobe's top 3 and he's not 3, which means LeBron's 3 and Kobe's 2 and Jordan's 1. I want to give Lexi a chance to respond. Let's keep this on point here. why do you have LeBron James over Kobe? Then we could get into the Jordan discussion afterward. You could break this down and dissect it piece by piece. Lexi.
So before all this, let me make it very clear. Kobe is obviously second greatest shooting guard of all time. Then is D Wade at 3. Anyone who says Harden, you're wrong. You're ridiculous. Anyways, LeBron is better than Kobe Bryant. I don't know how this is an argument. Kobe's a great player, obviously, fabulous player. The only thing that I think Kobe would have significantly over LeBron is defense. But even when you look at defense, LeBron is obviously the far more versatile defender, and they were both great defenders at their peak. Kobe, obviously, he's got more of the all-defensive nods, but that's voters. When we look at defensively on the court, LeBron was right there. Yes, Kobe's a better defender overall. LeBron's a more versatile defender. You could throw LeBron at anyone, and he would hold up. And then when we look at both of these guys, like Kobe was great at scoring and great at defense, but LeBron is close enough in those two sections and so much better at nearly everything else that it's not a competition. I liked how you said earlier when those little rebounds and assists. Like LeBron, that's not little rebounds and assists. The man was leading in every stat in these playoff runs. When we look at, Jordan, for example, Jordan was number 1 in scoring. Pippen had all the other stats. When LeBron goes on these runs, it's all him. It is all him scoring. It is all him passing.
He's physically bigger than everybody. Like that's his thing. Like
assists. Wait, assists? Assists are from being physically bigger?
No. Rebounds are from being physically bigger. The assists are he's averages 2 assists more, 1.5 assists more than Kobe. That's just
runs?
That's just one more decision to you decided to pass the ball and Kobe decided to shoot. Like that doesn't
that's much better for the team in some cases. Obviously,
no, it doesn't.
Not always.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's not. That's not the case. I'm not going to give you that because it doesn't. It if they both result in a bucket.
Well, of course, but LeBron was the more efficient player and the more efficient playmaker.
Before we continue with this, we got a special guest joining us. Actually,
Oh Lord.
Special guest joining us. He was very live in the comment section, and he is my co-host. He has not been featured on a sit-down morning show in almost 8 months. Daniel Alameda.
Hey,
There we go. Welcome. So this is the whole way. The wheels have fallen off completely. We got Lucky. We got Logan.
Yeah,
we
Daniel.
got Lexi. We got Saf, and now we got Danny in the building, man. Danny just celebrated a birthday, so happy belated birthday, my brother.
Appreciate it.
Hey, you had a lot to say to Saf in the comment section, so I'm gonna shut up. What I'm not good at. The floor is yours.
Man, I appreciate it. And this is, a little bit of a throwback. And I love this. I think that we're giving the people the content that they want. I'm just going to make this simple. My argument, I just don't see the Kobe over LeBron. I don't. And Saf, we've had this conversation before, and I'm excited that we're having it here. And for me, one of the points I'll make 2 major points. Number one, it's the longevity for me, undoubtedly. Longevity is something. And hold up, before you say that, before you roll your eyes and I think it is extremely crucial that we put respect on the longevity. I don't think that it's something to joke about. I think that it is the fact that this dude for 20 straight years averaged 25 plus. This guy is the best team on his team every single season. And what he is doing right now, I think it just shows to his greatness, right? Maybe right now, the latter portion of the past 4 years isn't the best player of all time, but it speaks to his greatness, the fact that this guy did it his rookie season all the way into his age 42 season. And when we talk about on the court, and this is kind of where I'm curious your point of view is, Saf, because I think he is the far more impactful player. And we can talk just offense side of the ball. He is the far more impactful offensive player when he is on the court than Kobe Bryant ever was. And that's really where, if we want to talk about eye test, that's where we can get into that debate. But as far as impacting every player, the other 4 players on the court, he impacted his team far more because of the gravity that he drew. Maybe he wasn't as good of a 3-point shooter or maybe as good of a mid-range shooter, but his gravity from age 22 and the way he progressed and the way he added his 3-point shot from age 31 and on far more outweighs what Kobe Bryant did. So that's where I stand with it.
It's a whole lot of meat munching going over there in the studio, but
meat munching is crazy.
But
Yo, you're so disrespectful. It's insane how disrespectful you are. It's insane.
I didn't know he was eating. Continue. Like, I thought we was listening to battle rap. I didn't know what was going on. That's the only thing I kept hearing.
You know what? You lucky they cooking you right now. I'm trying to do self-preservation because I don't want us to go 3 months without speaking before. Because last time we had this debate, I cooked your ass. So I'm gonna let them continue, and then I'm gonna say my point.
But see, I love
continue.
I like this right here. I like this right here because it's like 30 on 1. You see, I like this.
Because you're the only one making an asinine take.
It's not.
You're the only one making an asinine take. Nobody has Kobe Bryant. Listen, the only thing. Listen now, because now I'll jump in, tag me, and tag I'm in. Listen, the fact of the matter is, the only reason why you're putting Kobe Bryant over LeBron is because of Kobe's mentality. That's the only thing.
Because statistically, that's all that matters now. That's the only thing that matters is stats. We don't care about winning anymore. Clearly,
numbers matter. Numbers matter.
You're right, and winning doesn't.
You can't just throw numbers away when it suits your argument.
Nobody's putting the numbers away when it suits the argument because I never even.
There's something to be said about longevity.
I never even brought up the fact that the man put up 17 rebounds in a game 7 when he wasn't even shooting that well. I haven't even brought those statistics up because those stats don't matter in the sense of. No, excuse me. Those 16 rebounds matter because they had to win the game, but. That's my point. We're winning. Like I want to talk about winning. I want to talk about winning. But let's talk about the most. You know who has the most clutch points in a 3-year span in the playoffs? Kobe. Not once, but twice. You know who's second in that? LeBron. You know who's third? Jordan. But Jordan only played 2 years in that 3-year span that I'm referring to. So, and we know what clutch points are, right? When we're down 5, within 5 minutes left, right? We know what that is?
Yes.
All right. So the most clutch points, again, in a 3-year playoff span is Kobe Bryant.
But it's Saf, real quick. I just don't think that's like, and this, I hear that. I think it's a great thing. But how is that the pinpoint of the greatest player of all time? I think honestly, I think we need more
on
than
top.
That.
It's a culmination of his stats on top of the fact that he wins. We talk about the person being we talk about people being Jordan or the closest thing to Jordan, and that was legitimately Kobe. Kobe was legitimately the closest thing we had to Michael Jordan that we've ever seen. From the skill set to the winning.
From like play style wise, nobody is saying that now. Nobody's saying that from the greatest of all time perspective. Nobody else is saying that now. With all due respect and rest in peace to the late great Kobe Bean Bryant, those conversations started sparking back up after his passing, where Kobe truthers like yourselves came out and they started making these takes, but those takes don't defy they shouldn't defy logic. And right now you're trying to defy logic. Yes, he was compared to Michael Jordan because of his play style. And he was the most similar to Michael Jordan regarding his play style. They also played the same position. But when you talk about defense, playmaking, scoring, the ability to make the players around you better.
He's not a better defender than Kobe,
James.
So stop saying defense.
It's LeBron James. From a scoring prowess and a guy being willing to take your heart out, it's Kobe Bryant. Luckily for us, the game is not just about scoring. It's not just about scoring, dog. It's also about the way you impact your entire team. And that's what LeBron James has done time and time again. And you try to be the one to discredit LeBron James's legacy to fit your narrative of Kobe Bryant being over him because it's your play style that you prefer of Kobe Bean Bryant. Me and you had this discussion many times, so I could speak to where we disagree. You and me had an argument where when we got down to the nuts and bolts of it, you don't love LeBron James's play style. You don't like the fact that LeBron James passes up taking the quote unquote tough shots and he gives it to the open guy and the playmaker, whereas the Kobe Bryant wants the ball in his hands in those, guess what, clutch situations, which is why he's probably better than LeBron overall in that situation. But I prefer the guy that, guess what, the defenses gravitate to, that he makes everybody around him better. And that's LeBron James.
Do we not literally see pictures of Kobe surrounded by 4 guys? Is that not gravity? What are you talking
about?
No,
100%.
They
100%.
both bring
the shot goes up.
They both have gravity. So I'm not
yes.
Gonna...
And I Kobe Bryant's IQ, because in those situations, he would take that shot where 4 players are guarding him versus passing up the shot to his teammate. And I guess that's all about depending upon style. I'm trying to win. You talk about winning at the end of the day. I want to win.
Odom, who you want him to pass to? Who does he have?
Any one of his teammates is open. That's good basketball.
Bro,
that's good basketball. You're the same guy that ridiculed LeBron James for having the entire defense collapse on him and passing it out to Danny Green, a 3-point shooter. Even though he wasn't shooting good in the playoffs,
14%
for making that play. You would have told him for making that play. So I question your IQ. I question your basketball IQ.
That was a great pass,
I do.
Bro. Like, come on. I'm so that was the epitome. That LeBron pass was the epitome of LeBron there. So absolutely, that was a great pass.
Seth, you don't play. Seth, you were just crazy because if anybody's seen Saphir play basketball, he is a great team player. But your logic behind putting Kobe over LeBron is not
your personnel.
Doesn't make sense.
You have to know your personnel, bro.
100%.
If you knew your personnel in that moment, you knew that Danny Green was not the person to pass to because he was shooting 20% off.
He wasn't shooting well.
Career good shooter. Shoot. It doesn't matter if he was bad in that one series. He has a legendary moment.
Also have slumps. As if you've ever played basketball,
100%.
you know that shooters also have slumps, and you know that they can go into slumps, and it's bad. So Danny Green was in the middle of a bad slump, and we said, let's put the game on the line and let's give it to you. No, that's not IQ. Just because you're open doesn't mean that's the smart thing to do. You're not.
So you're saying he should have.
But also, Danny Green is like
was open
a 3-point shooter in essence,
with the game
right?
on the line.
Like,
and I know that that's not what she's doing well right now. Why would I sit there and confidently give her the ball? I gotta find it.
Because he's wide open.
Time out.
And there's nobody guarding him.
So wait, I got something then. So you're telling me it would have been better for him to shoot. It would have been better for him to shoot over all of those guys.
I would live with that. Absolutely. I absolutely.
Well, living with it is different. I would have lived with it.
That's a bad basketball play. That's a bad. People get on Kobe for that all the time.
Did Danny Green make that shot?
That's a much higher percentage shot than over 3 people.
Wait,
I'd rather him make that pass 10 times out of 10.
Wide open versus being guarded by 3 people. That's a much higher percentage shot.
6'9". Yes, you can make that layup.
There were 3 guys on him. Pause. There were 3 guys guard. Like, this is why Kobe had, like, Kobe could probably have 7 rings if he didn't take those shots over 3 people. If he had actually made the right basketball decision. But that is why Kobe is so great, because he's willing to take those shots.
Decision, he probably would also have 7 to 10 rings. So we're like
in that Danny Green play.
No, I'm not. The Danny Green play he missed. But what about the J.R. Smith? Like, that's J.R. Smith's fault, though, right?
Wait, what?
What about the play to J.R. Smith? That's a bonehead play. Like, there's bonehead plays that are being made because that's not that we talk about how LeBron has this upper echelon basketball IQ. Basketball IQ is not passing the ball to somebody when it's 3 seconds left in the shot clock and it says, here, get a shot up. If you make it, you make it. We live with that because that's what LeBron specializes in. And we also had that conversation on this very show about how LeBron specializes in giving players the ball in the last couple seconds on the shot clock. Did we not, Mr. Malik Wright?
And you are right. Not Malik, but you are right.
Or Mr. Fomer, right? Excuse me. Like we've had that conversation on the show where he gives you a grenade and you're expected to make it. So that doesn't give you IQ. That's like playing 2K and the defense collapses on you and you're gonna pass to the open man. That's not that doesn't mean that you got this so great IQ. That means you know how to hit the open man. But
now we're discrediting because Kobe had a lot of situations where he was being triple teamed, quadruple teamed. So you're telling me that Kobe had the higher basketball IQ for shooting the ball rather
I'm telling
than
you
like
that
passing it as
Kobe
a low IQ
trusted
play.
himself. I don't find that it being nothing wrong to trust yourself when you put in countless hours in the gym over someone who just showed up. I don't see what's wrong with that.
Danny Green had not just shown up.
I'm also talking about Kobe Bryant. Danny and Green and Kobe never played on the same team, so that's not equivalent. What I'm trying to tell you is that Kobe put in a significant amount of hours in the gym. Anybody would tell you that Kobe was one of those people. So when he saw that you didn't put in the same amount of effort as him, he can't trust you. So sorry if he's not as trusting like a LeBron. Jordan had that same character trait. He didn't trust people. The last person he gave a compliment to, Luke Longley. Luke Longley had like 15 points and a half. And he said, Luke, you're playing great. And you know what else happened? Luke didn't score no more points after that. So you know what Jordan said? I'm not going to compliment you anymore. Because that's just what it is. Like, it's just...
Are we saying that LeBron genuinely doesn't put in like the work?
That's not
like,
that sounds good. I was about to say that.
That's never what came out of my mouth.
I'm just clarifying.
The way I see this,
Kobe is going to, if Kobe don't see you in the gym, he doesn't trust you. He doesn't think he can depend on you. So his mind is, I would rather take a shot. Well, I'm not going to speak for Kobe, but I can just say after the games that I've seen, I'd rather take a shot that I know that I can shoot and I can make, rather than give this guy the ball who doesn't practice this shot.
And to be honest,
Jordan did that. Jordan did that twice.
I think that's where this argument honestly lives and dies, because I also think that's what makes LeBron great. I really do. I think that the idea that my guy didn't put in as much work, and right now we're getting into the nuts and bolts of it, but like, dog, all these guys can say that. We can look right now, Cam Thomas, right, is basically out of the league, but that dude trusts himself, right, and says, hey, I trust myself, I put in the work, so I'm going to shoot.
Comparing Cam to Kobe?
Hold on. I'm comparing the mentality part. Because you're talking about the mentality of, hey, I'm Kobe Bryant, I'm going to take this shot, and that is better than what LeBron James is doing of, I'm going to pass it to my teammate. So I think we're comparing mentality-wise, and I like I said, I understand what you're saying, but I just don't know how that really compares in the GOAT debate. Like,
it translates to winning.
But we're also talking about a guy, LeBron. He still takes 20 shots a night in the playoffs. So it's not like he's not shooting the ball.
I think with this specific debate here, it's like this specific part of the conversation we're having is it's annoying and simple as it's going to sound, but it's preference. You know, like, I'm not going to act like and sit here. I coach high level basketball. I coach freshman basketball, man. Like, I get it. You know, it's different. But like, to Saf's point, at the end of the day, on my level, I want my best player by shooting that shot every time. No questions asked, brother. Don't kick it to this guy. You are way better than him. Shoot the ball. Like, that is a thing. Like, that is a thing that is important. it's an aspect of the game, and it's a part of it. But in the NBA, you should have more trust in these people. But again, like, like you said, like, was kicking it to Danny Green the wrong decision? Maybe not. But at the end of the day, if he would have shot the ball, nobody would have really questioned him, I don't think. If he would have passed the ball, nobody should really be questioning him, I don't think. Like,
people would have absolutely questioned LeBron. He would have taken that shot, and everyone would have been like, oh my God.
It's LeBron.
If you would have questioned LeBron taking that shot, then you clearly don't like winning. That's literally, when I said that, I thought he was going to take the shot, and I was hoping for it, because that might have changed my perspective on everything. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that, you got to have that mentality. Sometimes that's just a killer mentality. You know, all I'm saying is your KYP. You have to know your personnel, and knowing Danny Green in that moment, giving him the ball in that moment wasn't great. And if it was great, you know what would have happened? We wouldn't be having this discussion, because he would have made the shot. But clearly he didn't. And that's why we got to talk about this.
But so
let's switch. Let's switch real quick, Saf. I'm curious, because we're still talking LeBron and Kobe. Longevity, sure. Obviously, you were kind of making a laughing a little bit. I'm curious, what is your thoughts on the longevity? Why it doesn't really factor for you and Kobe versus LeBron? Because I think undoubtedly it should.
I can absolutely tell you why. Because how many seasons did LeBron play 82 games? You don't got to look. I'll tell you, it's one.
Okay.
And that came in 2018. You should be able to play 20 years when you're not consistently playing 82 games a season. Like I'm not the longevity is cool, but what I'm saying is Kobe and Jordan literally put their bodies on the line to give the fans, to give their team what they wanted. LeBron doesn't do that. LeBron is gonna he'll sit 20 games, he'll sit 25 games, he'll sit 30 games if he's gonna be healthier in the end of the season. And sure, that's you completing another season. That's you saying that you got yourself healthy. But all I'm saying is that you should be able to do 20, 23 seasons when you're not playing, when you're playing 60 games, 70 games a year. You're not playing the entirety of the season.
But one thing I want to bring up on that is a lot of these seasons you're referring to happened later in his career. Like early on in his career, I mean, I'm looking at the numbers right now. 79, 80, 79, 78, 75, 81, 76, 79.
He's played over 70 games, 15 years in his career.
Yeah, and like, yes, that's different from 81, but like a few, I mean, on these teams where they're easily making the playoffs on a bunch of those teams, it is the smart decision to not, like, just because these guys played all 82 doesn't mean that was, played all the games of the season doesn't mean that was the smart thing to do. Yes, they did it, but like LeBron has also mastered the game in a way where when was the like LeBron does not miss a lot of playoff games,
bro.
Once
yes, but let's just hope your team is good enough to get you into the playoffs, and that's always the thing, right? He's always
and they have been for the majority of his career
to the playoffs.
He plays
for
most of his career 70 plus games. Like it's not like he's missing giant chunks out of each season just to get ready.
He missed 20 games last year.
He's also 42.
Yeah, he's 40. He's 40 years old.
See, but we can't be using that argument, bro, because Jordan's last season he played all 82.
And he sucked. He was terrible on the Wizards. He was off. I'm tired.
Averaged 22 points a game.
Have you looked at his efficiency was awful.
50%. What are you talking about?
And that.
What are we talking about? I hate this narrative that Jordan. You know what? So I wish Jordan would have retired after the Bulls, so people really could see his true greatness. So people really could understand that in what he did in 13 years. But what he did in the Wizards, he still averaged 22 on 50% shooting.
No, I'm looking at it right. I'm looking at it right now. Jordan in 2001, 2002, 23 points a game. 41% from the field, 19% from three, 79 from the field, five rebounds, 5 assists. And in 02-03, 20 points, 44% from the field, 29% from the three, 82 from free throws, 6 rebounds, 4 assists.
Hey,
still quality skills wise.
Lexi, I'm gonna
force it.
Can I just say this really quickly? And I'm gonna let y'all kind of get back to it. To the LeBron James point. I've been sitting very quietly and I've been listening. As far as the longevity goes, right, that's something that we have to talk about, and we have been talking about that. But as far as missed time, Kobe Bryant has played, 20 years? LeBron is entering his 24th season. LeBron has missed a total of 212 games in his NBA career. Kobe Bryant, in his 20-year career, missed a total of 258. Let's start there. Look.
Oh my gosh, the man towards Achilles.
Yes, 258 compared to 200. I just want to throw that out there because
that's not that you can't do that.
20,
you cannot do
but
that
I'm doing
because there's 82 games.
As far as
season,
MVPs,
so
LeBron has 4 compared to Kobe Bryant's 1. We talk about why LeBron has made the conference finals more than some NBA franchises ever have, right? LeBron James. We talk about how weak the East was, and then guess what? They would go and they would take on teams in the Western Championship, and LeBron James would struggle at times because those teams were that much better. Can we mute his mic?
That's 82 more games.
So, as I'm saying, LeBron James in his 23-year NBA career has missed 212 NBA games. Kobe Bryant in his 20-year career missed a total of 258. So when we talk about longevity and a guy still playing at the top, the best,
how many more seasons did he play than Kobe?
42 years old? What are we talking about here? You want to sit here, you want to nitpick and ridicule him to fit your narrative. The fact of the matter is, nobody has Kobe Bryant over LeBron James. Nobody.
How many more seasons did he play?
Nobody.
And there's real teams that still want LeBron James, like right now.
Nigga, Kobe's in the grave. Like, there's nobody's gonna nobody's gonna want, obviously. But bro, like that. What are we talking about? You sit there and I asked you, how many more seasons did LeBron play than Kobe? 4. That's 3. That's 82. That's 82 games a season. That's 240 more games already that he's played. So you should absolutely be able to play more games. Like that's what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
If we take away the more recent seasons, that's actually better for LeBron in terms of health.
Right.
If you take away the last few seasons from, let's say, 38 to 41 years old, we take away those seasons, he's still missed less games.
Yeah, that's 258.
Bro, Kobe literally had a season where he played 6 games. That's the whole season.
Yeah.
He was better off not playing that whole season. So we sit there and say that's only 19 games, 19 years. Like, that's, come on. What are we talking about? The man played 6 games because he was hurt. He was hurt and he still tried to play. We can't say the same for y'all glorious king.
But like, it's dumb to pretend that the difference between 82 and 79 games is that big. Like, LeBron has played in his prime, played the majority of his games. I don't like when people are like, oh, of course you can play that long when you didn't always play all the games. Like, he was playing.
When is his prime? That's the question, because
his damn near his whole career.
You can't bring up the longevity, and then when people sit there and point out the fact that he's been injured the last 7 years or so, you're gonna say, oh well, he's this age. That you can't do that. So
not
it's
the
either
7.
he's this age or it's
even if we take away the last 3 years, his longevity still lasts longer. He's had like 3 different primes.
He played 60 games this year. He missed 11 games last year. He missed 10 games. He missed 12 games last year. The year before that, he missed 11 games the year before that. He missed.
So he's still playing 70 plus.
25
That's what I'm
games
hearing.
The year before that. You said what?
So he's still playing 70 plus for most of those seasons. Is what I'm hearing.
No, that was.
Well, LeBron. If we're comparing it, if we have to compare from a 20-year sample size, LeBron James missed 183 games, right? 183 games compared to Kobe's 258.
You can't do that because Kobe only had a season.
You're trying to fit a narrative that doesn't exist.
All right, so we take,
bro. You can't.
All right, so we take. Okay, so take that one season away. It's still even.
Take Kobe from 1996 to 2000 and let's go 2013, where he tore his Achilles.
All right, so I take LeBron.
Go from there and then see what that is like.
While we got you guys here, do us a favor, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss when we go live. Daniel, I want to let you, while we're looking up those crucial stats, if you can do me a favor, Daniel, continue to give us your thoughts on things, because we don't get you off pretty often.
No, man, I appreciate it. And like I said, I think like the only other 2 points I can make that I think is kind of intriguing. Number one is the fact that the dude is not done yet. So the story is still not written. And while maybe this upcoming season,
and they hate it.
Maybe this upcoming season isn't going to bring anything, but also for me and Saf, I hope you could appreciate this as well. Watching him in the playoffs this year, I understand the Rockets were without Kevin Durant. I was very impressed, and I was just glad as a basketball fan to watch that, because at 42 years old, the dude played probably 38 minutes a night, was the best player on a team that respectfully was trash, and he led his team to a playoff win. And once again, maybe that's a little bit of a consolation prize, I understand, but just watching right now, like, you have to appreciate that. When we're talking longevity, I understand you could say, oh, 12 games he missed, 13 games, but dog, if you want to bring up what Michael Jordan did at 39 years old with the Wizards, how he played all 82 and he averaged 24, talk about how LeBron averaged 25 in the playoffs. Talk about how he averaged, playing 34 minutes a night when he clearly could have played more. I thought that this season was very impressive. And you said what? Load management. And I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say. I do. But
Jordan would have loved doing load management on the Wizards because he was not good.
You know what's crazy? What I find crazy,
He was not good. He
Jordan
needed
never
to rest.
loved load management because Jordan really went to
at 37, the year Kobe retired, he was averaging 17 points per game. At 37, LeBron James was averaging 30. I just want to throw that out.
Also, and in that
You
final
also
Kobe
keep
season,
bringing up the
that
It's a
fact
different
team
era.
really-
It's a different era. Oh my
No, no.
God. Kobe was putting his body on the line every single night. He went through the rigors of an NBA season. He
I
took
wish Kobe
ridiculous
would've
shots and
spent
put
$2
the onus on
million
himself
a year on
because
his
he's the
body.
great Kobe Bean Bryant. And we are going to judge him strictly off of scoring because LeBron James makes poor IQ passes. I got that right. That's you, right? I just want to make sure I got your argument right.
you
Because
tried it,
we can't do that. We have to judge Kobe from when he entered the league until he was year 30. Because we can't judge Kobe when he was 37 versus when LeBron was 37. Because in
I'm
every
just so
single
confused
metric,
as to a
LeBron James who
man that was
passes him.
highlighted as the chosen one when he falls short on what he's actually supposed to do and being better than Michael Jordan. Now it's now when we sit here and talk about other players being better than him, it's because what? Because he didn't live up to what? The expectation of what it was.
The only reason we're having this debate is because you were bringing up the Kobe. We could have the LeBron and Jordan debate,
Not
but
even a real conversation.
we're trying to discuss the LeBron and Kobe. Because personally, I also think that LeBron and Jordan is very close. So I don't think that's it is, but
Let's
it
get
is.
into it. Seth, Daniel, let's get into it. Go ahead.
No, yeah, Seth, I'm curious. You said if it's not close at all.
It's not close at all. What are we talking about? Michael Jordan is a 30-point per game scorer shooting 50% for his career, bro. The man got 6 rings in the finals. He's a career. He has. Let's talk about his career winning percentage, please. Because in the regular season, he has a career winning percentage of about 66%. In the playoffs, it's about 68%. And in the finals, it's 100%. While averaging 30 points per game. 10-time scoring champion. Played 82 games. 12 out of his 13 years in Chicago. Nobody could touch him. The man was literally called Black Jesus.
Yeah.
Larry Bird called him Jesus in sneakers.
They did praise him. They don't like to bring up how he was 1-9 before Scottie Pippen, but you know.
That was
1-9 before Scottie Pippen. That's a career arc. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up. Because that's also a thing. That is also a thing. That's what we call a career arc. When you have to figure out a way to get over the hump. You know what he didn't do? He didn't go to the Detroit Pistons with his friends. He didn't go to the Los Angeles Lakers with his friends. I mean, he can't help that, Jerry.
If he was LeBron wanted to do that, he would have went to the Celtics, the team he was having problems with in the East. They recruited him.
No, but he went to the Heat. He went to the Heat because he couldn't get past the Magic. The Celtics. So he had to go play with his friend in Miami. Both of them. Jordan never had to do that. Nor did Kobe.
And that's fair. It's 2 different ways of getting it. So my thing is, so we always do this, the changing teams isn't that. Like, are we going to pretend that Jordan did not have an incredible supporting cast around him?
Insane.
Like, yes, LeBron played in Miami with all these. Yes, he's played with all-stars.
He had Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Steve Kerr. He had tons of support.
I know you didn't
Steve Kerr hit one of the biggest shots ever because Jordan passed the ball to him, by the way.
Let me live. You're not talking about Steve Kerr with actual sincerity.
All right, so here, wait. So time out. Hold on. So we look at Jordan and the teams he had. So you're aware, Michael Jordan's first retirement. That last season, he won 57 games. He left, went to play baseball, and that supporting cast that allegedly isn't all-time this and that, that supporting cast won 55 games. Nearly made we're like 10 points away from making the conference finals. Scottie Pippen, 3rd in MVP voting. This team was crazy. Like, that team was exceptional.
I hear you, Alexi.
Like, when LeBron leaves the team, they're in the toilet every time. Every time LeBron leaves the team, they suck. The Lakers is probably the first time they get better, and that's because they have Luka Doncic.
Bingo.
It's been the first time
The point about the supporting cast point that you were saying about Jordan, they didn't go to the finals, but what happened the year after Jordan came back? They went 72-10. So
how about the year Jordan came back
difference.
and they got bounced out the playoffs?
It was no. I'm talking about his first full season back. They came back and it was a difference.
Like well, of course, and it's easier when you have the ridiculous
57-win team, that 55-win team, a 72-win team with a ring. That's the difference that Jordan brought. That's the difference. So yes, that team that he had was good, sure, but Jordan alone put them over the top.
Well, he should though.
Look at what LeBron did to Cleveland.
Well, of course.
He put them well over the top. We cannot say the same thing for
totally
LeBron.
disagree.
You can't say the same thing for Bron.
LeBron's team's getting
if
worse.
LeBron had that consistent
LeBron's team's getting worse after he leaves is a result of LeBron constructing the roster. That's not because
that is a fair point.
He doesn't just come to
how about when he left Cleveland that first time?
They were
that wasn't the GM that we talk about now. When he first left Cleveland, he was just LeBron.
But still, there were still several significant players.
I don't like using the player
that.
leaving and going argument much here because if LeBron's off my team, I'm probably going to make my team worse because I'm not going to be as good. Like I think there's several just ways these arguments go. I just don't I don't think it holds much weight here to me. Maybe I'm alone.
But if Jordan left his team and they still won 55 games, that's got to say something. Yes, obviously Jordan.
But they didn't win. When Jordan was on the team, they won the finals. Yeah. When Jordan wasn't on the team, they didn't. That's a clear difference of how great
that also
have to be.
You can but that should be explained a little bit though.
But then that team should have won 20 games when he left though. No,
they won 55. When he came back, they won 72.
And I'm agreeing. I'm saying you have to take both sides. Obviously yes. He elevated that team, made him a championship team, 72 wins. I get that. You can't ignore when the team still was a contender, like a championship contender.
Okay, I'm glad you said that then, because when LeBron left Miami still went to the
but
that's one time. So and also
what are you
that
talking
team
about?
That team was not. I'm a Heat fan. That team was not as good as a team.
Doesn't matter. They went to the playoffs.
Scottie Pippen. With Tony Kukoc, that team was a lot better. Chris Bosh was basically done. Like he had blood clots.
Scottie Pippen didn't even want to shoot.
He didn't want to shoot, and they still were
done. Chris Bosh was hooping because he ended up getting another contract extension. What happened to him was he was sidelined the year after that by the blood clots.
Well, yes,
he was. Chris Bosh was absolutely balling.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that. I was saying
absolutely showing why he was doing what he was doing in Toronto when LeBron left. But it had to take for LeBron to leave for him to do that.
He was still like the perfect third option when he was there. Can't pretend like he was a bum, but I think it's.
I never said he was a bum.
I'm just confused.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you is that you're doing the supporting cast argument, and when I'm bringing it back to you with the same Miami Heat team that he left. It was the same result. They made the playoffs. The difference between
they weren't. They weren't like 10 points away from making the conference finals. Good. They were good. They were decent.
Don't matter.
No,
you're good. And maybe I've got this wrong, but they went 54-28 in 2013, and then the following year they were 37-45 without him. They didn't have a winning record the year he left. And then I remember that Cleveland year that he left, they went from a 50-something win team to a 19-win team. So I just don't think we can use this argument. And I agree with you, Saf. Jordan took LeBron the team over the top when he came back. I understand, but we can't act like when LeBron leaves teams, they don't just fall off a cliff. That dude, he has the same amount of impact.
It's because it's
but you can't.
If I construct a roster for you, if I construct this roster for you so that it fits you personally, your team, right? So let's take you, Danny. Like let's say you are John Stockton. So I need to get you.
I'll take that.
Right? I wasn't saying it just because you're. I wasn't saying.
Why can't he be Dwayne Wade, bro? Why'd you go John Stockton? I'm just kidding.
I really don't even know how you build a team over I think D-Wade just needs you. D-Wade, you can really build a team anyway. But like I said, let's say you're Stockton, right? What do you need? You need a a 7-foot power forward that can roll to the basket, that can shoot from the free throw line. I'm gonna get you Karl Malone. Bow, you need shooters now. I'm gonna get you not a Havlicek. I'm gonna get you a that Utah Jazz roster is escaping, but I get you shooters.
Yes.
I get you another ball handler, Byron Russell. Like that's how the roster is constructed. Now, if you get traded or if you leave, I need to build a team in my image. I need to find a way to build a team around my next best player. So that means I might have to get rid of some guys. That means my team might be trash because the team that I had with you does not no longer fit me because you're not there. So then therefore I can't be my team's not going to be very good if I still have the same nucleus. And I have the one that one missing piece that made this nucleus work. That's like Luka in Dallas in 2023. That Dallas team is not good.
Yeah.
If you take Luka off that team, what do they do?
Nothing.
But you see what I'm saying? But we can have that conversation about every
Completely.
superstar to the beginning of time.
Completely.
So that's why I don't think that's an okay argument to make because of the roster construction that he personally does.
Completely. So
You know
I
what's
just
crazy? You know what's crazy? After LeBron left the Cavaliers, they had not had a winning season for 4 years after that until he returned again. This is a team that wasn't making the playoffs. They were 19-win seasons, 21-win seasons, 24-win seasons. LeBron comes back in and they're instantly first. And part of it, right, we could talk about it because you had brought up the fact that he's a leg GM. But to Lexi's point, he wasn't a leg GM until he returned to Cleveland, right? So we're not – we have to also be honest in our conversation because I feel like it's kind of getting away from us. Like LeBron made an impact. LeBron makes an impact everywhere he goes. He made an impact in Miami. He made an impact in Cleveland. Lakers fans might hate this. He made an impact in LA. However, I see both sides of the argument. I do agree with you, Saf, because we have been on record saying here on the show, well, LeBron James, well, he hasn't gotten the most out of younger talent. Younger talent don't really reach their potential under LeBron James. But I think it would be wrong of us to act like his first several years in the league when he was with the Cavaliers, he wasn't dealing with a shitty hand because he was. Mm-hmm. And he still got the most out of that Cleveland roster. And to people's point, well, you know, when he did go to the finals, stuff like that, we talk about and we praise about how insane, you know, first of all, almost what he was doing was crazy. He ran the East. He ran the East, which is nuts. And that's a whole separate conversation. I would think with his team being weak and how of extraordinary a player LeBron was, that when he faced the best team coming out of the West, I would think that the team in the West would probably be their toughest competition. Because we all can agree potentially if LeBron James was going through the West, he'd probably still be leading his team to the playoffs, but it'd be a much tougher gauntlet to sort of go through, is my point. Now, we can't ridicule him because he landed in the East, but I also think we can't minimize his impact. LeBron James undoubtedly has had an impact. And I think that even though he obviously didn't win all these championships, what does he have right now? 4 championships?
4,
right?
Yeah.
I think something has to be said about the final appearances, the consistency in which he has been for every team he's sort of been on. But or namely, he's talking about the Cavaliers here. We have to talk about the impact he made on that team. And honestly, LeBron James is why we can talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers in the light that we talk about them today. And they're able to make Cleveland such an attractive destination for other NBA athletes. That's just the way I see it. So I look at him completely changing the trajectory, the market of Cleveland, even though that's not a part of the GOAT debate. I'm just talking about his impact and why, LeBron James needs to also be praised for what he has done for Cleveland basketball.
Yeah. And I just think, for me, and this is Saf, like, I guess this is more towards you, like, I just don't understand how we could say it's not close, dog. Like that's the part that really gets me. Like how it's not close. Like I get if it's like for me, I can flip flop between two. Like for me, it's not LeBron way over Jordan, but for you to say like it's not even close, like that's where I honestly haven't heard anything yet to convince me why.
He's played 10 more years than Jordan and still trying to catch Jordan
What are
the categories besides rings? I think rings is the clear one.
MVPs, finals MVPs. Like what?
I don't think at 42 years old, I don't think LeBron James has
Defensive
really been
player of the
chasing
year?
MVPs the last few seasons. I think he's been trying to win.
Oh.
I think
you shouldn't have to.
to be
chase
quite
him
honest
if
with you,
you're that great.
LeBron James, he got snubbed his last probably 2 years in Cleveland. He should have won an MVP.
100%.
Yeah, it's a voter thing. You can't necessarily like use
LeBron James
can
should have
use it.
You
can use it.
LeBron James should have
the
MVPs.
so MVPs don't matter.
You
because
can
it's a
definitely
voter thing.
use it.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
If
I'm not
that's the
saying
case-
it doesn't
if that's the
matter,
case, then- if
but I'm
that's the
saying
case-
that
if
like
that's- if that doesn't matter, since it's a voter thing, then I really don't see where y'all argument of LeBron is, because I gave y'all I give you the MVPs and the accolades over Kobe. But if you saying MVPs don't matter, then
I'm not saying they don't
listen,
matter. I'm saying it's not everything. I'm not
think
saying
we
it doesn't
all
matter.
can agree.
I'm saying it's
LeBron James got snubbed probably his last 2 years with Cleveland where he should have won MVP. But it was that whole thing of voters fatigue, the whole 9 yards. So judging by that metric, LeBron James should, again, he doesn't. I just want to specify this because LeBron James should have like 6 MVPs.
And he would have overtaken.
yeah, and Kobe
Jordan
should
if he
have like
won
3 or
this
4,
year.
but he doesn't.
And LeBron James still would be over Kobe.
He has 4
And Kobe should
MVPs,
have, like, 3 or
MJ
4.
has 5.
And Kobe has 1. That's my point.
But Kobe should have 3 or 4 by the logic that you
Right. And you know what's crazy by that logic?
Yeah.
LeBron James would still have more than him. It's kind of crazy how that works.
You should do that with the rings too and see how that works for you. But like I was
It
saying,
works out fine for me.
like I was saying,
The hill you're
If
dying
you
on
think
is not the hill
anybody
you
that
think you're
averages
dying on.
18
It's not going the way you
deserves
think,
MVP
bud.
over someone that
It's
averages
not.
35,
You're getting
it doesn't.
cooked.
They don't. If you think anybody that averages 18 and 10 deserves MVP over someone that averaged 35 and 35,
It's
5 and 5, I
impact.
don't know what to tell you.
I don't need to get into all this.
What
but
impact? Because Steve Nash got lost. What impact?
it's a regular season award. First off, to be very clear.
18 and 10
And-
was enough to get you
An
that regular
offensive
season award.
offensive impact like the team like torched everyone in offensive rating. They were by far the best. Like they were an incredible
meant
offense.
nothing.
What
All of that
in
meant
the regular season?
All of it meant nothing because what do they have to show for it?
It's a regular season award, MVP.
I hear you. When Allen Iverson won the regular season MVP, he also sat there and took that trash Sixers team to the finals and scored almost a 50 piece on the Lakers, who were 15 and 0 or 12 and 0 up until that point in the playoffs.
And I recognize that. But if Allen Iverson had lost in the first round, that doesn't invalidate his regular season MVP. It's a regular season award.
But we don't remember it like that. I guarantee you we don't remember it like that because he literally got the MVP. He got the MVP on the Lakers floor for game 1.
Guys, listen, I want to wrap this up.
whether
We
we
get to our
remember-
UFC talk, but I just want to just leave it at this. If we're comparing the LeBron, Kobe Bryant head to head, just to wrap this up and give everybody a chance to respond. MVPs, LeBron 4, Kobe Bryant 1. Finals MVPs, LeBron 4, Kobe Bryant 2. All NBA selections, LeBron 21, Kobe 15. All-star selections, LeBron 22, Kobe Bryant 18. Championships, Kobe has 5, LeBron has 4. All-time points, LeBron. Career assists, LeBron.
All NBA defense, Kobe 12 times, LeBron 6. I'm just
Nobody has Kobe Bryant over
confused
LeBron.
as to why you left that one out. Kobe, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 36 and 0 in the Olympics, including FIFA.
LeBron has more career
4-time
wins.
gold medalist,
1,000,
1-time
Kobe has
bronze
836.
medal, 4 times gold, 1-time bronze medalist, 36.
Can I just say this?
I like
Sam,
the
really quick?
Olympic shout.
I think, and I think that's a nice shout because it shows how petty you are. But I love you, brother. I love you. But
I mean, you named every other statistic
because it doesn't
that they
matter.
have except for
The Olympic thing doesn't matter.
Defensive doesn't
Listen,
matter. Defensive.
I said
doesn't matter.
Olympics. I said the whole Olympic thing doesn't matter.
Yes,
too.
but I brought up the all defensive teams as well.
100%.
You ain't said
They
didn't
matter.
bring
They
those
matter.
up.
100%.
You didn't bring
But
those.
here's what I'll say.
So
Here's what
I
I'll
guess
say.
defense doesn't matter, and if defense doesn't matter, then y'all got it.
Guys, when did I ever say defense doesn't matter? You see how he just tries to nitpick. He has no
I
other
said that's
argument.
what you just
He's
said.
trying to nitpick little things to try to make his case better, and it doesn't make your case better, brother. Because everybody can hear me say never said defense doesn't matter. You brought up this Olympic.
That you went over statistics. You went over every single statistic that LeBron is better at than Kobe. That's all did you not do that?
I did.
Did you not just do that?
I wasn't purposely trying to go over every
statistic. When I bring up a statistic that is also equally as important than the ones that you bring up, and he has half as many playing 10 more years or 3 more years, excuse me, then I'm just confused. I think we should bring the good
I think that we all had talked about how Kobe was a better, more consistent defender. Alexi had brought up the point that LeBron was probably the more versatile defender going up. Obviously, being 6'9", 6'8", you should be going up against bigger guys. I don't think I'm not arguing. I just want to make sure I'm saying that for the record. I'm not saying that Kobe Bryant wasn't a better defender than LeBron, because I think he was. I think where this argument lives and dies is I think that you have this Kobe, I think you have this Kobe weird, fan base that I think when you look at it, I think the entire league views Kobe differently than how basketball savants and people who follow the sport view it. I think people will tell you Kobe was lethal. Kobe had the mentality, right, that'll rip your heart out. But I think for a large part, it's all about flavor. I think when you talk about all around better basketball player, I think why people fall on LeBron is because of the impact he's made on his team. And I think that's probably why Kobe doesn't have more MVP awards personally. And Alexia brought up the point how Kobe, again, is willing to take those shots, maybe those shots that people don't favor usually, or people kind of ridicule him for. I think all of that kind of go hand in hand. I think there's a reason why the most popular debate going on in sports still to this day is LeBron versus Jordan, because the metrics say, well, LeBron has surpassed him in a lot of these accolades. And the one argument people bring up for the Jordan side is the rings. And I don't think any of us will ever, convince one person or the next or anybody on this panel that, whoever you have, whether it's Kobe or LeBron or Jordan, whatever the case may be, I don't think any of us will convince the other why this person is the GOAT. And I think this is going to be one of those things that we're going to have to agree to disagree on. I just want to say, I love every single one of my co-hosts. I want to make sure I say that. I love every single one of my co-hosts. And if anybody ever wondered why these guys are on the show, this is why. I wouldn't pick another cast over anyone to debate basketball with, football with, the whole 9 yards. It's clear we don't see eye to eye. But that's what makes this show it. These are not manufactured opinions. These is genuinely us not seeing eye to eye. I told Seb, I don't want to discuss the GOAT debate with you. Same thing with Lexi. Same thing with Daniel. I want our authentic opinions. There's no filler here. We're not reading teleprompters. We're not just going with what the most basic stuff is. This is our genuine basketball opinion. All right. So at the end of the day, I respect everybody's opinion here. And I think everybody has an argument for their opinion here. There are people out there that put Steph Curry over LeBron. Respectfully. There are people that do that. And I've seen those arguments.
Oh, I had a guy in my DMs yesterday tell me I don't know ball because I don't have Steph at number 1.
I love when people say you don't know ball.
Steph has 100 more career points than DeMar DeRozan.
Wait, say that again?
Steph Curry has 100 more career points than DeMar DeRozan.
That's crazy.
But he's the all-time leading three-pointer. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? And I'm not taking nothing away from DeMar because DeMar is cold, but Steph barely has 20,000 points.
One argument that I do want to make sure we have on the show at some point, because Lexi had brought it up, we got to cool it with the James Harden disrespect. I just want to say that. I'm not going to do it right now.
I'll do a D-Wade James Harden debate any day of the week. Any day.
So I just want to say, that's Sav's favorite player. I'm just throwing it out there. That's one of his favorite players in James Harden. Kobe's his favorite player.
I don't dislike James
It's hard for
Harden.
me to say that Harden is better than D-Wade.
Yeah, that's my point. He's a clear force.
My consistent thing is being a two-way player. Because being a two-way player is not something that first of all, that's at a premium now today, and it shouldn't be, because that's the game of basketball. You should be able to play offense and defense. I don't care who you are.
That's true.
So I think D Wade already has the nod because he plays two ways, and he knows how to win a championship because he knows how to sacrifice.
That's fair.
Amen. We can
So
definitely
that's
agree
it.
on that.
That's why I can't put Harden. However, Harden did average 36 points per game.
Yeah,
this
the
season.
peak was crazy.
Been stubbed a couple times from MVP.
We're gonna get to that. There's one last thing that I want to get to before we get out of here. Daniel, I want you to stay here.
Okay.
UFC 329 is taking place this weekend. It is. And the Notorious One is returning. I'm excited to get to it. I'm excited to talk about it. But before I do, I want to show you guys the spicy stare down between Max Holloway and Conor McGregor that just took place last night. Take a look. I'm gonna say this right now. If you were a man and you run up on me and you take my glass off my head, I know we're talking about millions of dollars being made here, man. You got to see me, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that all being said, I feel like Conor's winning the mental warfare right now, guys.
For sure.
You know, he was
He
very
always does.
reserved. He was very reserved all week. He didn't win the mental warfare against Habib, but you can kind of see it when people kind of not break per se, but like they almost try to mirror Conor. And I think that's always been Conor's superpower. Mind you, this fight is happening at welterweight, right? Max Holloway has never fought at 170. The shots are different up there at welterweight. Guys, I've said this prediction earlier in the week because there's no week like a Conor McGregor fight week. All the personal stuff, you know, outside of the octagon, we know. I just want to make sure people know I don't condone any of that. We're strictly talking about the fighter here. I feel like Max Holloway is the perfect dance partner for Conor McGregor to come back against. And I want to get to Daniel really, really fast. I want to get your thoughts on Daniel on the Max Holloway versus Conor McGregor. Conor seems locked in. He seems mentally sharp. He seemed reserved. I told Marissa, she's like, he's been kind of pretty quiet the week. I said, wait till tonight's press conference. You're going to see a different side. And then tonight, you're going to see a different side during the weigh-ins. Daniel, what are your thoughts on Conor McGregor making his UFC return at UFC 329 against Max Blessed Holloway?
Yeah, man, I've got two thoughts. Number one is Conor McGregor is going to have to do something literally that, and I know a lot of people have said this, but nobody has done. Nobody's done this. 5 years away. Not once did he step foot in a professional fight, and I doubt he's been fighting outside of this. Sparring, sure, but the dude has not had a fist fight in 5 years. Couple that with returning from a broken leg. We've seen that Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman, these guys, you don't return the same. And the fact that he's doing it at 38 years old, albeit the guy also said that he was partying. The guy admitted multiple years to not being well trained. So he's going to have to do something that is historic. And that's why I think it is fascinating. I am super excited to watch because this has never been done. The dude was drinking. The dude was partying while Max Holloway was in the prime of his career, training and actually going in championship bouts. This is what makes it historic because if this were to happen, I think it's fascinating because everything tells you about the story shouldn't happen. But Malik, to your point, the mental warfare is real, right? I do think that there is something to be said. You can look at the Ilya Tapori fight. Ilya, as soon as the first thing they did when they walked in the octagon, Max Holloway always points down. What does Ilya do? He walked in, he pointed down. Max Holloway did this. And that's the moment Max lost that fight. And I do believe Max is going to lose the mental warfare. Where I differ and where I am a little concerned and where my prediction is, we have seen Conor McGregor quit in fights in his prime. We have. We saw him against Nate Diaz. It was a fight where Conor McGregor was working him and he got gassed out and he quit. That's what it was. He gassed out. Nate Diaz, he got submitted. But in my opinion, I think the dude was gassed out. He was tired. He shot for a takedown, got submitted. Same thing with Habib. I do think that there is a world where, and Max Holloway talked about the deep waters. I do think there is a world where Max Holloway does drag him into deep waters. And that's where I lie, Malik. To be honest, I think this is far too much to overcome. And I do have Max Holloway if he's able to get out of that first round, because I do think that Conor has always been a guy, wins that mental warfare, can knock him out. If it goes into round 2, round 3, I think he loses the fight. I do have a surprise prediction. I think Max Holloway gets a submission. It'll probably be a late round TKO, but I'm going to take a shot in the dark because I do see a world where if Conor gets tired, you can envision him getting tired, shooting for a takedown and getting submitted, because I've seen that 2 times in the past. I think third time's a charm. That's my prediction. Max Holloway, 3rd round submission.
I'm happy that you brought that up. That's one of the biggest misconceptions with Conor. The first round. Conor has made it to decisions. Conor has also gotten some pretty good knockouts in the second round on his record as well. Max Holloway builds into fights. We all know that, right? But we're not going to act like, for a guy in Blessed Holloway who talks about being, the best boxer in the UFC, we're going to act like Alexander Volkanovski didn't box his head off the last time those two faced, right? He was winning the boxing battle against Ilya, but that was all a ploy to open up Ilya's shots. The fact of the matter is, say what you want about Conor. One of the last things to go is power. Yeah. And Conor has loads of power. I think Conor's going to knock Max Holloway out, guys. I really do. And if you know me, I'm not a big Conor McGregor guy. I am a guy that loves Khabib Nurmagomedov. I love other fighters. I've always felt Conor got praised for being the double champ status. And you guys have known, I've been on record saying this. Conor never defended the featherweight belt. He was gifted the double champ status, essentially, against Eddie Alvarez, who was on his way out with the UFC. But I can't ignore that Max Holloway hasn't taken shots well recently, guys. And so if you're not taking shots well at featherweight, you're not taking shots well at lightweight, you lost to Charles Oliveira in the stand-up battle. And go back and watch that fight. He got rocked several times. He wasn't trying to engage with Charles Oliveira as much on the feet because he was getting rocked. So now let me get straight. You're going to go up to welterweight. And now, Max, you're not talking about winning. You're not talking about winning championships. And that was Max Holloway's whole thing. I want to get to the belt. I want to do this, legacy. Now you're talking about you're a prize fighter? And you want to put a show on for the fans? Conor's not talking like that. Conor's saying, yes, I came back for the fans, but I came back to prove something to myself. Guys, let me just ask everybody here on the panel. Do we think Conor's going to touch Max Holloway's chin in this fight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. How do we think Max Holloway is going to react to Conor McGregor at 170 touching his chin?
He's going to get knocked out.
Because when Charles Oliveira at 155 touched his chin, and Dustin Poirier in a retirement fight at 155 touched his chin, and when Justin Gaethje, everybody remembers the knockout against Justin Gaethje. I remember the first round. Max Holloway's gotten rocked in every one of his last 4 fights, guys. What do we think Conor's going to do? There's no doubt he's going to touch Conor too, but Max Holloway is a volume striker. He's a volume striker. He's a guy that builds into fights. Conor's a fast starter. And traditionally speaking, when Max Holloway's fighting someone who starts fast, who's able to put damage on him, they beat Max Holloway. I don't know. MMA math doesn't always make sense, and it shouldn't here. The obvious answer should be Max Holloway. But I also think Conor and his team see something with Max Holloway that sees this as a vulnerable spot. I think if this fight goes past 3 rounds, Max Holloway can build into the fight and do very, very well. The thing is, guys, I don't think it's going to go past 3 rounds. I think Max Holloway is going to get knocked out inside 2 rounds. I really believe that. Really believe that. Because I do think he's going to be willing to engage with Conor. And Max is not going to shoot on Conor. Max is going to stand with Conor. Max brought up the fact that Conor shot on him the last time these two fought. Conor had a torn ACL. And he still beat you. On a torn ACL. And you left in a wheelchair. I don't know.
Yeah. I think all that stuff's fair. Like at the end of the day, and I do think that there is something for the aura of Conor McGregor. Like watching that press conference,
Or can't fight for you.
I agree. I agree that Aura can't fight for you, but it can do something to your opponent. And I do agree that it can do something to Max Holloway. And that's if you are taking the Conor McGregor side, that's what I think. But and my concern, and the only reason I can't get behind what you're saying is everything that you're saying makes sense in a perfect world. We're talking about Conor McGregor, what he did.
What is Max Holloway going to – because here's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Max Holloway is going to have to throw something that keeps Conor McGregor off of him.
And Conor McGregor, I think my point, dog, is McGregor, you're talking about, oh, what is Max going to do when he gets his chin touched? What is Conor going to do after he gets his chin touched for the first time in 5 years? This dude is 38 years old at the back end of his career fighting in a weight class that dude never has fought, or he fought once, but he is not a natural welterweight.
And he was dominant. He won inside 13 seconds.
He is not a natural welterweight. He's not. And
he is now. Daniel, he is now.
He is now.
He is now. He's like 100%. There was talk about Conor potentially fighting at middleweight. He is 100% that now. 100%.
But he's never fought as a natural welterweight, and that's what my concern, dog.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm curious. My question to you is, bro, 5 years. Like we're coming in expecting him to spark.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
But 5 years.
I'm gonna say this. John Jones, right? How long was John Jones out his last time? And I'm not comparing John Jones and Conor, but my point is Cyril Gane is a very elite heavyweight, right?
Yeah.
We saw what John Jones did in under 2 minutes to Cyril Gane. The same Cyril Gane that just went out there and knocked out Alex Pereira, right? My point is John Jones made Cyril Gane look very, very pedestrian. He had Cyril Gane considering retirement. My point I'm making is you have these specialized athletes that specialize in one thing.
Yes.
Right? Max Holloway is not a better stand-up striker than Conor McGregor when you consider all their tools. Boxing, kicks, the whole 9 yards, they get in the elbows. He's not. He's not.
We haven't seen him in 5 years. We haven't seen him.
Bro, my point is, guess what? There are some high fight IQ fighters that it doesn't lose you. Now, if Max had the ability to mix in takedowns and do all that, I can see what you're saying, but Max is not going to do that.
Yep.
We've seen Max fight how many times in the UFC? He doesn't. That's not his game. It's not what he does. He stands, he strikes with you. He has his hands down. He's susceptible to leg kicks. Alexander Volkanovski employed a beautiful game plan against him. Did the leg kicks on Max, took the wheels from under Max, and started jabbing Max. Max has been getting his face jabbed off in the time. People want to talk about the Brian Ortega fight. Brian Ortega and Max Holloway had a very competitive fight until the later points of the fight where Max broke him down. My point is, and even saying that, Max Holloway, he broke Brian Ortega down. Brian Ortega is not the kind of puncher Conor is. Ilia Topuria was losing the striking battle against Max Holloway. He was getting his face jabbed off the entire fight. And then what happened? Ilia exploded with one shot that concussed Max Holloway. I think that this is a very similar situation. Conor McGregor has concussive shots. Conor doesn't have – Max Holloway has to be perfect for 15 minutes. I say 15 minutes because that's 3 rounds. He has to be perfect and not get touched for 15 minutes. All the while being on a bicycle, jabbing at Conor, and hoping that he sticks enough out there that thwarts Conor's offense. I don't think he does. If he's going up against a full volume striker, he's going to do well. He's going up against a guy that can rearrange his thought process. It's concussive shots. It's a different game at 170. It's a different game. And I think Conor's going to win this one, Daniel. I really believe that, man. I think that this return, a lot of thought was put into it. The opponent, a lot of thought was put into it. And it shows you the mentality Conor's in. They told you. His team thought that they were preparing for Carlos Prates. He thought that was going to be his next fight. Now, Conor, stay away from Carlos Prates. That's a different game. Max Holloway is a fight that I think he can come back in a very, very big way. I want to go around to the panel really quickly and get everyone's thoughts on this fight. We're not going to spend too much time on it because we spent a lot of time on it already. Sav, I'm going to start with you because I know you're not feeling the best, brother. What are your thoughts on Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway?
Yeah, I agree with Danny. Daniel, I agree that Max is. I don't know by submission, but I've already been saying, the last couple of weeks we've been talking about this, that I think Max Holloway is gonna start him just because it's the ring rust. That's my biggest thing. Like I hear where you're coming from. You're making really good points, but it's just that like you haven't been in there 5 years, and it's just that's just different. Like you haven't been in there since 2021. Like we didn't even have COVID was still a thing when the last time you fought. Like that matters. That matters. Like all of that, the time matters, and it's not like he missed 5 years and he's 31. Like he's missed 5 years and he's 37, 38. So it's you're coming back. We was just having this whole conversation about longevity and what happens when you're older. So I just think it's the same. Conor McGregor's he's not the young bull that he once was. So I'm not saying Max is younger either, because they're about the same age, but Max hasn't retired, or Max hasn't left for 5 years. Max isn't coming back from a gruesome injury. All of that stuff weighs on you. Like for fighting with an injury weighs on you. Like the first time you're in that cage after you're actually
100%.
thinking that you're fully healthy, that mindset has to be completely different. Like he has to act like it's never happened to him, and I just don't know if he can.
Well,
for me, again, everybody knows I'm not like the most educated on UFC and everything, but in general, like Saf talked about, the mental side for McGregor and not being able to necessarily knock off the rust, deal with the injuries and all those things. But to be honest, like I don't know what McGregor is going to be thinking at all. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing for him. This guy's an utter nut job. And at the end of the day, your back's against the wall. You got nothing to lose. Like, who knows what the hell he's going to try to do? I'm not saying that's going to work in his favor necessarily, but there's a very good chance he just comes out swinging and just, hair on fire. I'm going to try to make something happen here. And if I'm not going to be the one to say he's not, I will not push back on the injuries, the 5 years at all. But at sometimes it's just, again, you're back against the wall. You got nothing to lose. Those people are dangerous. And when you have that attitude and that mindset with, the pedigree and the power that McGregor does have, it's hard to look past that for me.
Lucky, come on.
The notorious Conor McGregor knocks out Max Holloway round one. Round one. That's what I got. I think he's going in there, to your point, Malik. This is a different animal that Max is facing. At 170, that power is going to feel a lot different. That left hand is going to feel a lot different. And I don't think McGregor at this stage in his career, he has been gone 5 years. I won't dismiss it.
Which people keep bringing that up. One thing I want to say is people keep bringing up the 5 years he was gone.
Yeah.
He was also in two training camps.
Yeah.
He was in two training camps in that process where the fight fell through due to negotiations with the UFC. And then it was also, he broke his toe.
Yeah.
Like a short while while the fight was supposed to take place. Things took place that allow for that to happen. But if you know anything about a Conor McGregor training camp, there's a lot of sparring that takes place. He did box in a fight during his time away as well in Crumlin, at the Crumlin Boxing Gym in Ireland. So it's not like this guy hasn't been involved in a fight. People bring up the 5 year, but like, it's not like 5 years coming off the couch.
No.
It's different from his 5 year and our 5 years. Like,
and I really don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah.
I look at McGregor, and this is the perfect fight for the notorious. This is the perfect fight for him. He's going up against a guy who does tons of jabs. Like you said, he works his way into fights. That's who Max Holloway is. And I think by the end of the first round, he might be unconscious. I think that's a very possible 90% likelihood that that left hand is going to land, in my opinion. And Max Holloway is not going to be able to get back up. And I think that's going to be our introduction into the notorious into 2027.
we know what's crazy? 10 years ago, 2016 was Conor McGregor's year. Damn. It's kind of crazy.
10 years.
10 years. It's kind of crazy that 2026 could be his year as well, because if Conor wins, Conor's going to get a title shot. He doesn't want to move back down to lightweight, but they're going to give him a lightweight championship fight against Justin Gaethje if he wins, 100%. And I think I'd fancy him in that fight too. I really do.
I think they'd give him his one first, but
no shot. No shot. I mean, maybe, but he's got a tough task with Ian Gary. He does. He's got a tough task with Ian Gary. Alexi, who you got in this fight?
Look, my username is Alexi Knows Ball for a reason. I don't know much about this, but one thing that I will tell you is this has been the year, the last 2 years has been the years of just weird things happening, as Malik, as you said on the prior show. Look, Phillip Rivers this year came back into the NFL and only lost by 1 point to the eventual Super Bowl champions. Anything can happen. Phillip Rivers was like 45. Conor McGregor, yes, he's been out a while. He's not done. He doesn't look done. This isn't like Mike Tyson coming out of retirement where his butt's being shown to 30 million people on Netflix. This is a very different world that we're living in. Conor McGregor is still good. Is he great? Is he this and that? We don't know.
We're gonna find out.
One thing I'll tell you is weird stuff has been happening recently. The timeline shifted at some point. I think Conor McGregor can pull this one out. I think it makes zero sense. I've listened to all you've said. You guys are very educated on this. I'm not, but it all makes zero sense to me. I think McGregor's got it. It's the year of weird. It's the era of weird. Like that's just what happened. So give me McGregor, and if not, he was gone for 5 years.
Listen, as Conor says, the muck is back. Conor McGregor is going to put on a show Saturday night. Last time Conor fought Dustin Poirier, we talk about Dusty Smacks. Listen, Max is going to get his jaw changed, man. I promise you, Conor McGregor is going to beat Max Holloway. We will show up on this show on Monday, and people will say, Malik, how'd you do it? How'd you predict it? Because I predict these things. Trust me, Conor McGregor beats Max Holloway, and I can't wait for it. We hope that you guys tune into UFC 329. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of the Sit Down with Malik Wright, live every Monday, Friday, 11 a.m. As we talk about the greatest and latest news in sports. We debate LeBron, Kobe, I guess, Jordan, that whole thing. But we'll see you guys back here Monday at 11 a.m. We can't wait. Remember, there's only one way you should be waking up, talking sports, or join the conversation, and that is the right way. We'll see you guys Monday at 11.
This is TWSN. You ain't heard about us yet, well, you better know.